Good afternoon.
And we're live. Good afternoon. This is the 2:00 session of House Government Operations and Military Affairs on this lovely day. Welcome. We have some guests from Barre today, and you're going to tell us a little bit more about the changes to your charter that you're requesting. And first up, we have City Manager Nicholas Storella Castro. Did I get it right?
You got it. Well done.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon to members of the committee. My name is Nicholas Storella Castro. I've been city manager of Barre since July 2022. And we're here before you today to talk about H10, which contains Barre City's proposed charter changes that were approved by the voters last May. There's three primary changes that are before you. The first one is to permanently move our annual town meeting from March to the second Tuesday in May. This came about last year. Our city council has authority to move town meeting day per the charter. So last year in 2024, at the recommendation of city staff, the council moved the town meeting day to May to give us more time to develop our first budget after the 2023 flood. And really the impetus of that was to allow us to wait out the legislative process to see what kind of aid was coming to the city. But really what we learned is that it improved our budgeting all around. We had a lot more data to inform everything that goes into our budget. So we came up with a great product, a great budget that our voters approved. We started at the very beginning with what might have been a 20% tax increase to much more reasonable than that. The other thing about this change is that I think that moving the town meeting day to May has a natural synergy in the Barre area. Barre Town, our neighbor municipality, also observes town meeting day in May. And there's many things that bind our municipalities. We have many, including our school district and our media market. We're both covered by the Times-Argus. So I think that there's a lot of, like I said, synergy of all of our residents, Barre City, Barre Town, going to the polls on the same day. There was a side benefit of doing this last year, which was that we had increased turnout at the May election. There were 1,565 votes cast in May compared to 1,231 the previous March. So that's an increase of 27%. So quite significant. And looking back at prior years, since 2011, the only times with greater turnout in March elections was during presidential primary election years, which one might expect. So that would have been 2016 and 2020. So I think from a participation standpoint, the move to May, I think has obvious benefits of getting more people to the polls. We do ask for your consideration of a technical amendment that is needed. When we were preparing this charter amendment with our city attorney, there were two references to the March annual meeting that were missed in section 207 of our charter. So that language has been shared. And so we just request your consideration to include that as well. And then my final point on this one is that this passed pretty handedly with 57% support when it was considered by the voters last year. The second change before you is to separate the clerk and treasurer positions and make the treasurer an appointed official rather than elected. So this would be helping us transition to a model that's used by many other municipalities, including, again, Barre Town and Montpelier. And we're recommending this change because we have an excellent finance department. And it's been recently that the city hired a finance director, and they do a great job. So this would allow the person elected to the clerk position to focus solely on the clerk duties. And I know former Clerk Dawes is here with me, and I know she can probably speak much better to this, but she mentioned in the testimony that she presented to you that the treasurer duties were a minor part of her day-to-day job. And we believe that an appointed treasurer can handle this jointly in coordination with our finance department, which is also very well staffed. This charter change passed with 67% of the vote last year. And then the final change, it's a pretty technical cleanup of our charter to remove outdated and contradictory references to the school district. Barry City voters adopted the Articles of Agreement for the Barry Unified Union School District in 2019. So there's no sense to have these references in our charter. It only adds to confusion, and it contains some old references, as I mentioned. So we're asking for you to help us clean up our charter. And this one, again, very passed handedly with 67% of the vote last year. Those are the changes before you. Very happy to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions from committee? Rep. Morgan?
Yes, hey, Nicholas. Do you have those exact votes? If you talk numbers and percentages, but if I miss them, I apologize. But do you have on the two components, do you happen to have those exact votes?
I do. Let me just scroll to them and I can get those for you. Give me 1 second. So I can give you all three if it's helpful. So the moving town meeting day to May was 899 to 618, and there were 48 undervotes. The separating clerk and treasurer was 1,057 in favor, 424 against, and 87 undervotes. And removing the references to the school district was 1,061 in favor, 389 against, and 115 undervotes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? No. All right, well, thank you very much for that information and laying it out for us. We'll hear from a familiar face, Carol Dawes. Welcome.
Hi there, Carol Dawes, former Barry City Clerk and Treasurer. I still continue to serve the City of Barry as their tax increment finance administrator, so I haven't gone too far. So I don't have anything specific to add. I did send in a written testimony on behalf of Nicholas and myself. He just referenced all of it. The reason I wanted to be here was I was clerk at the time that this was put together for presentation to the voters. And so I've got more history involved with it than our current clerk and treasurer. So I wanted to just be available for any questions if there were any. I do want to say that you do have in your documents, you do have the complete packet that was presented to the Secretary of State's office and Ledge Council. It does include all the election results. So you do have those numbers in your packet.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for Ms. Dawes? No. All right then. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you all. We appreciate the experience that you've given this bill. I know I'm still learning the legislature, but certainly appreciate that it's getting your attention so early in the session. We really do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Anything else coming before this committee at this moment? Then Autumn, you can take us off. Yeah.
I had one question because I'm trying to find it in the packet because it had said it had all the numbers.
Okay.
And I've opened up everything I had on
Autumn,
Barry.
do you know where that would be?
It's posted under H10. It was posted like the first time we took.
Oh, okay. All right.
H10 Barry City Charter Change.
Okay, so do we then have to go?
I can repost it for today, but if you just go to the bill, it's posted.
Okay.
If you're on our committee pages and you're looking at where it says documented in the handouts, and then you go down a little and it says browse by, and then you can click on date, and right next to it you can click on bill. If you go to H10.
You lost me at browse by. I was going to H10.
Okay, sorry.
A different way.
If you're on our committee page, and then there's
Okay.
the white documents and handouts section. it says documents and handouts, and then there's the bar for document search. And then you go down a little farther and it says browse by. You click on bill, and then you click on H10. Then it'll bring you,
Yep.
all of the documents, the text of the bill and all the relevant things that have been posted and other pieces.
So I think maybe if we reposted some of that on today's date, that would be helpful. Just because Carol mentioned it in her testimony that it was there. So if she was the person who submitted it, it would probably be good to have it posted under her name.
There is something posted underneath.
It was the charter change was submitted to us by Kelly, so it was under him. But I'll post it again for you.
Thank you.
Because all I saw when I went to Miss and Carol Dawes was just the 1.25 page.
It's posted under draft amendments and other legal docs.
Yeah, I'm just afraid the general public won't see it, because this is all I have.
Did you,
when I look
I've
at
got the
it.
raw numbers right here. I wrote down if you wanted to, Vito.
Yeah,
The other one.
I wrote them down too.
Oh, you got 'em.
Just because she had said it, I wanted to
Yeah. Yep.
see it
Well,
in print.
somewhere
Yep.
on our page, yes, you have to go to bill. And then you have to go to H10. And then you have to go to drafts, amendments, and legal documents.
For the submission I gave in for today.
Yes, and then it says it's under Tucker's name. So I think
I'm
that,
working to repost it right now for today, it's just gonna take me a minute.
Okay.
okay, great, so it will be posted under Carol Dawes' name for today, or
Sure.
is that? That is who the memo's from, right?
The memo is from the current clerk and treasurer.
Hold on, let me orient myself, hold on.
Yeah, we're not following this, because under the Berry City charter change currently from January 10th, under Tucker's name is something from the Secretary of State's office
I have this under Carol
Sorry.
Dawes' name.
going
On
to
our
the Secretary of
homepage.
State's.
Yeah, that's what Carol was,
Okay, so this was posted under Tucker's name.
yes, because Tucker's who gave it to me, so that's who I
Right, but
posted under, but I can change the
my
name if
question
you guys
is
want.
for Matt, whether you want it posted under Carol Dawes' name since she referenced it, because,
Well, Tucker did not create this.
right,
Yeah, so I would post it under if she's representing Berry City, post it under Carol's name.
It's also
Thank
posted
you.
under Michael Newton's
okay, so.
It's got a city header.
Yep, it should come from someone at the
I
city
can
of
get her.
Berry.
All right, cool.
Okay, great, so we can go off live now that we figured that out.